Welcome to this technology preview of the Acuity fully decentralized atomic swap exchange. So the first thing you need to do to trade with the web app is to connect to the chains you want to trade on. So we have quite a selection of different Ethereum-compatible chains that you can choose from. For this demo, I'm going to be connecting to a local testnet. So I can choose which URI I want to use. So I will select this local WebSockets URI. I click Add Chain, and with a quick refresh, we are now connected to that chain. And we're going to be trading against the Avalanche testnet. So Avalanche Fuji testnet. I will select their secure WebSockets endpoint. Click Add Chain, and after a quick refresh, we are now connected to both chains. So with this selector, you can actually choose which Acuity account is the active account. These are provided by the Polkadot browser extension. And if we go to account, then we can actually configure the active account. So we can see that Alice has a public identity. So if we go into the Polkadot interface, we can see if we click on Alice, we can see that her identity is set publicly as Alice. So an important thing if you're trading on the Acuity DEX is that you need to be able to prove that your account on different blockchains is the same account. So you prove that you are in control of a selection of different accounts on different blockchains. So the first thing we're going to do is click Set Foreign Account. So I'll just check my my MetaMask. So we are Alice on MetaMask, and we're connected to localhost. So I will click Set Foreign Account, and this will bring up our confirmation dialog for this transaction on Acuity. We sign the transaction, and then once that's confirmed, we have now written a record to the Acuity blockchain saying that on this local testnet, this is our address. So the next step is actually to publish a transaction on the testnet to confirm it in the other direction. So I will go back to MetaMask, and because this is running on a testnet, I'm just going to reset the account, and then I'll just do the same for Bob. Okay. So let's go to Alice. We're on localhost, so I click Set ACU Account. We now get our MetaMask browser transaction confirmation. So I can click Confirm. And because this is my local testnet, it confirms instantaneously. And we get this little symbol. So this is showing that both blockchains agree on what Alice's address is on the testnet. And we will now do the same thing with the Avalanche testnet. So I just set this to Avalanche. Set foreign account. Just wait a few seconds for that to confirm. And then we do the same thing. We send a transaction to the Avalanche testnet. And it's already confirmed. So Alice is now set up and ready to go. But if we go to Bob, so we see that Bob does not yet have his public identity set. So I'm just going to go into the MetaMask the Polkadot software, and we go to Bob. We're going to set his identity. We'll set it to Bob. So later on, you'll actually be able to do this from within the DEX. So we set Bob's identity, and I'm just going to set Charlie's identity while we're here. Okay, all done. Just give that a refresh. Okay, so the Bob account is now known publicly as Bob. And let's just connect his various accounts. Okay, Avalanche. Is done. Set it back to the testnet. Oh, we actually did it wrong. We connected Bob to Alice's account, but I can fix that. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. Okay, so now for Alice and Bob, we have all of their accounts are connected. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is the trusted accounts functionality. So I'll set the active account to Alice. Oh, let me just fix this one. Okay. Okay, so we are Alice, and we want to look at Bob's account. So let me just switch back to Bob. So we're looking at Bob's account here, and then I'll switch back to active account Alice. So this is Alice looking at Bob's account, and we can see that Alice does not yet trust Bob. Bob does not trust Alice. So I will click trust, publish that transaction. So what this does is on the Acuity blockchain, Alice is publicly declaring that she trusts Bob. And then we're going to go to Bob's account. So we're now Bob. And actually, I want to have a look at Charlie. So if I just copy Charlie's address, and then we can just paste it in here. Let's go to Charlie. So we are currently Bob, but we're looking at Charlie. So if I click trust, Bob will trust Charlie. Okay. It's good. So let's look at Bob. So Bob trusts Charlie, but let's go to Charlie, and then let's switch back to active account Alice. So we can see that if we are Alice and we're looking at Charlie, it has detected that although we don't have a direct trust relationship, we have an intermediary. So Bob is our intermediary because Alice trusts Bob and Bob trusts Charlie. So this is actually a quite good social networking aspect to the exchange, where if you trade with someone and you trust them, then you can add them to your list of trusted accounts. And then other people, when they are looking for trading partners, they will be able to see who within their trust network trusts someone new. So I think this will be quite an effective way for finding new accounts and developing a reputation on the platform. Okay, so now we're actually going to perform a trade. So we are Alice, and we want to sell. So let's, what do we want to sell? We want to sell Avalanche for testnet. So Avalanche, that's good. Testnet. Okay. And we can see that Alice is actually already stashed 0.03 Avalanche to sell in order to buy testnet. So I'm just going to top that up a tiny bit just to show you how it works, because Alice has 1.48 test Avalanche. So let's try 0.11. So we'll just check we're on the correct blockchain. We are Alice. So if we click stash, then we get the transaction confirmation dialog. We click confirm. And once that has confirmed on the Avalanche testnet, then we have our updated balance of how much of this Avalanche testnet cryptocurrency Alice has stashed in order to sell it for the testnet. So the purpose of this stashing stage is actually in order to prove that you have the funds to sell, you have to stash them before you can make your sell order. So the next step is to publish on the Acuity blockchain how much Alice wishes to sell this Avalanche for. So let's say she wants to sell 0.1 of her stash, and she wants to sell it for 20 test for each Avalanche. So that's if she sells all of this 0.1 Avalanche, then she will get 2 test. And we just click set, sign that transaction, and so this sell order is then published on the Acuity blockchain. Okay, so the next step is to go to the buy page. We're going to switch so that we are Bob. And just put in the correct chains, and we can see Alice's sell order. So we can see that for Alice to sell Avalanche for testnet, she has stashed 0.14 Avalanche. This is her price. This is how much of the stash she wishes to sell. So in order to buy from this sell order, you just click on this little icon here. And the information on this page is essentially the same as what was displayed in that first row on the previous page. So we're Bob. I will just I will switch to Bob in MetaMask. And so what we want to do is to actually do the first step for purchasing from this sell order, and that is to create a buy lock. So the buy lock, it will be on the local testnet. And we can see Alice is selling 0.1, so maybe we want to buy 0.08, and then that will cost 1.6 test. So we click buy. So this is how much we're going to lock up. And we confirm that transaction. And we can see that Bob has locked this 1.6 test. So the next step is that Alice, upon seeing this, she needs to lock up what she is selling. So this transfers her funds from the stash, from her stash for this pair, into the sell lock specifically for Bob. So let's just switch over to being Alice. And we're going to switch to the Avalanche testnet. So now this little icon has appeared, so we can, Alice can create this lock. So what's happened actually is that when Bob created his lock, he created a secret number, he hashed this secret, and this lock is, it's locked with that hash of the secret. Only Bob knows the secret at this time. Alice knows the hash of the secret, so she is creating her lock with this hash, although she doesn't know the secret. So we create the sell lock on the Avalanche testnet, so we just have to wait for that to confirm. And we can now see that both the buyer and the seller have locked up their funds for the other party, but only Bob knows the secret. So we switch MetaMask back to Bob. And so now Bob can take the funds from the sell lock. And in doing so, this reveals the secret. So let's have a look at, so Bob currently has 0.166. When we release this lock, he should have this 0.08 on top of this. So let's do that. We'll just wait for it to confirm. Okay, and I think the app actually, the app gets a response back from the blockchain faster than the MetaMask, the MetaMask browser plugin. So this balance won't actually be, there we go. The balance is now updated. Okay, so now Alice wants to go and get her funds. So we switch back to Alice, we switch back to the local testnet, and we now have this button for Alice to unlock the buy lock. So she has slightly less than one test, and she should receive her 1.6 once she unlocks this lock. And there we can see she has now received her funds. So this atomic swap trade has now occurred without any counterparty risks. So neither Alice nor Bob needed to trust each other. And the transaction has completed. So I hope you've enjoyed this technology demo, and I'll have more information very soon. Thanks very much.